Hey guys, I'm Justin from Cooking with Coit. I specialize in clean comfort cooking, and today I'm going to show you how to make this classic Pico de Gallo. And if you love this video, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Let's get started. There are so many different types of salsa out there, but none is more versatile than Pico de Gallo. I absolutely love it. You can put it on anything. You can put it on beef, chicken, fish, and even eggs. Anything you put onto it, it's gonna be amazing. I think of it as the perfect starter salsa because it's so easy to make and it's super fresh tasting. First thing we're gonna do is dice 3 Roma tomatoes. One of the most important things in making a Pico de Gallo is making sure that all the vegetables are diced up around the same size. So let me show you how I cut my Roma tomato. I first start by cutting off the end, then I split it in half. Then I take one of the halves and cut that in half again, just like this. Then I lay it back on top and start cutting my strips. Now it's really important to be using a very sharp knife here because tomatoes are a little bit hard to cut to get through the skin, so you don't want a dull knife or else you might cut your finger. Then I take the strips and lay them horizontally and then cut my perfect cube pieces all the way down. The pieces are perfect little diced cubes. And now I'm gonna transfer these tomatoes to the bowl. Now we're gonna dice up some onion. My recipe calls for just about half of an onion, but of course it depends on how big your onion is. This particular onion is quite big, so I'm gonna do about a quarter of this. So should equate roughly to about a quarter of a cup of diced onion. Now we're gonna transfer this onion into the bowl with the tomatoes. Now we're gonna move on to dicing up our jalapeno. My recipe calls for 1 whole jalapeno. Again, just like the onion, this jalapeno is quite large, so I'm not gonna do a whole jalapeno. I'm gonna do about half of this one. The amount of jalapeno used is completely up to you. It's totally subjective. It depends on how spicy you want your pico de gallo to be. And of course, we always wanna take out the jalapeno seeds because they are crazy spicy. If you want a crazy spicy salsa, keep the seeds in, but for me, I'm kind of a spice wimp. I'm gonna take them out. Next, we're moving on to our cilantro. Cilantro is probably the most important ingredient that we're gonna put in this Pico de Gallo because it gives it such incredible flavor. The amount we're gonna use is about a half a cup. I'm gonna take some of the stems off. I just noticed that there are quite a lot of stems, so I'm gonna take the leaves off the stems and then I'm gonna rough chop it. All right, now we're gonna transfer this cilantro to the bowl with the rest of the ingredients. Next thing we're gonna do is juice 3 limes, and 3 limes should be about a quarter of a cup, but it completely depends again on the size of your limes. But for this size of lime, 3 limes equals about a quarter of a cup. The last ingredients we're gonna add for this Pico de Gallo is a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm gonna do more salt than I am pepper, so a couple big pinches of salt and just 1 small pinch of pepper. There are so many different ways to eat Pico de Gallo and different things to put Pico de Gallo on. I really love to serve this Pico de Gallo with chips, but also with guacamole. I actually have an incredible guacamole recipe that I've just been putting together. If you guys would like to see a video of that, please let me know in the comments below and I'll make one. You can put this Pico de Gallo, of course, on tacos. I love it on carne asada tacos specifically, but I also make this really good taco bowl, which has like a bed of rice. I do sauteed veggies, I do cubed grilled chicken, and then I put this Pico de Gallo right on top, and it makes it taste so fresh. It's really great. So let's just give this Pico de Gallo a quick mix. All right, this Pico de Gallo is ready to eat, but here's what I would do. If you want the best flavor possible, take it and put it in the refrigerator for just about 20 minutes. It'll let all the flavors marinate together and it's gonna be the best it can be. I cannot wait to give this a try, but before I do, if you love this recipe and you wanna see others just like it, check out my Mexican recipes playlist. All right, let's give this a try. This Pico de Gallo is so fresh. You really taste the hit of the citrus with the cilantro and the onions all coming together. It tastes so fresh and delicious. Guys, you can use this in a million different ways. I know you're gonna love it. You gotta give it a try. I'll see you in the next video.